I wanted to make a big board with you guys. Okay, I want to make a big board with you guys. Now, if there's anybody that you feel like I'm missing, you let me know, and we'll add them on. If you know how I feel about them, obviously, but if I think they're worthy of being thrown on here, that's what we're gonna do, right? So I wanted to do this before the draft, so when we do go live, we can have this up, and when guys are gone and when guys are being moved, whatnot, we can mark them off our list, right? But let's go ahead and start. Okay? So first and foremost, and there's one player in particular I want to like when I get to them, I'm going to stop on them, okay? But Dylan Harper, right? Obviously, that's who you take. All right, that's my first guy on the board. Colin Murray Boyles. I'm not vibing with him. Colin Murray Boyles. He's a little, especially if the Spurs are looking into Yabusele. He's a little tiny, right? How tall is Colin Murray, guys? How tall is he? Ain't he like 6'9"? Or am I tripping? Am I thinking of someone else? 6'6"? 6'7". Okay, I was way off. All right. My next guy is gonna be Carter Bryant, right? I think that he is phenomenal. I don't expect him to be there. Okay, I don't expect him to be there. So I'll put in an order of guys that I really want. Okay, and obviously you got to take into account like, okay, you know, the likelihood of you getting them or whatnot. You know, I mean, I could easily put Cooper Flagg on my board, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So, anyways, but Carter Bryant, really great defender. He fits the position that we need, right? We need a small forward once Barnes is gone. Good 3-point shooter. As far as flaws in his game, I don't really have that many. I mean, I really like him. Pretty smart player as well. So I like Carter Bryant for the next guy that we try to get. Now, this is where I want to stop for a minute. Maluach. So I think we need to keep an eye on him. I don't know, because right now he's projected at 8, right? I don't know what that's going to look like. I have no idea what that's going to look like. But as it stands right now, I love it. There's some things to his game that might be a little sketchy, right? Like rebounding. That's one thing that people got onto him about before. But I love his defensive tenacity. I love his shooting upside, right? Because when you watch him play, you see him as more of a rim runner. You wouldn't have guessed that he is somebody that can also shoot outside shots quite well. He has a lot of touch to his game. I think Duke, just because of how well formed they were, they kind of dumbed down his roles, which that's what happened with really good teams. Your roles get dumbed down a little bit, right? It kind of happened with Steph Castle as well. Like he's on the UConn team. They had a really nice system, and we didn't get to see. And that's why a lot of Spurs fans were confused when I was like, no, he can handle the ball. He's really good. He can do these things. Because when you look at highlights, it's just like, no, he looks like a one trick, right? But that's not true. He can do a lot of different things. So I think that might be the same thing we're looking at for Maluach, man. I really like him. And one thing that I care about the most when it comes to his defense is that he's always in good positions. Like his positioning is pretty top tier. He's always in the right position, right? And for his size, he can move pretty well up and down the court. I like him, man. If the Spurs wanted to get that backup center, and you know, backup centers can be pretty costly nowadays. If you want to get a young guy and get the most out of him, Maluach might be the guy you go for at 14, y'all. I don't know if he's there. He probably won't be there though. Is 14 pick too high for Reno? I'll get to Reno actually right now. He was next on my list. I really like Reno. I've been arguing with my boy Swish about this a lot because he doesn't agree with me. He does not like Reno the same way I do. He's not saying like he's trash or anything, but he just doesn't see the upside. I like everything about him, right? I like his shooting touch. I like his basketball IQ. I like his defense. I like everything about him. He just seems like a genuinely smart player, and I'm just a sucker for those, right? Same reason why I wanted Sohan a few years ago. I'm just a sucker for smart players. I just love them. But yeah, so I won't go into it too much because we went over Reno before. But if you don't know, he's actually really great friends with Wemby. and he had a really great combine. So we don't know where he's going to land. From what we heard, it's like mid to late first round, but that might have changed recently. So yeah, we'll have to see. Yes, that Troy is complete. You're completely right. He mentioned Coward. That was actually next on my list. I agree with you about Reyno. I really like him. I really do like him. So Coward is actually one that he's a little strange. They got him listed as a shooting guard? I thought he was listed as a small forward. Am I tripping? Hold on. By the way, got Maluach stats up right here. But you can see 3-point percentage 25. So like it looks like okay, he can't shoot, but he has some shooting to him. He just doesn't. Yeah. In the past, he's it's kind of surprising. They just dumbed down his role, I think. Yeah, let's look up Cedric. So this is a little bit of a bias on my part for Cedric Coward. Crap, I should have clicked on him. Here we go. He didn't play that much this year, right? Didn't he get injured? Shoulder injury, something like that? Yeah. So he can shoot his butt off. Okay, he can shoot his butt off. But they do have him as a guard. I could have sworn he was a small forward. Big fan of Coward. He's essentially J-Dub, but with less playmaking, but better three-point shooting. So one thing I really like about him, honestly, this is where my bias comes in, is, yeah, he's very talented. He can shoot. He has some defensive upside for sure. He uses his body quite well. And he's kind of a sneaky one, right, that can land down to 14 because of that injury, right? You can take that as a good or bad thing, right? You could say that he hasn't really been tested, so what is it going to come out? Like, how is it going to look? You could say that maybe he's more of a project. Maybe you could say he needs a little bit more time. But the Spurs got that time. I mean, yeah, they got that time. So, but when it comes to him, one thing I really love is when you listen to him speak, just watch an interview, bro. He come across as like a 35-year-old man. He come across as a 35-year-old man. You said he's a senior. I know, but like he's so much older than he actually is. I was listening to him speak, and I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the way he articulates himself or the way that he conveys. I just could see him being such a great communicator amongst his team. Really upbeat personality as well. I really like this kid, bro. I really like this kid. Coward is awesome. He seems like a cool dude, man. I like him a lot. That's kind of my bias. Yeah, defensive upside. Yeah. I mean, he's talented, right? We know that he's talented. But man, personality-wise, I just feel like he gels with the team. He feels like a Spur to me. And he sounds like he's like, when you watch those old interviews from like the 1980s players or whatever, he sounds like a 1980s player. He just does. A fun guy? Yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. Okay, so Cedric Coward's on there. Next on my list, I got Fleming, which he's kind of a strange one for me because while I like him, he's also someone who, man, how can I put this? It seems like he relies on his athleticism more than anything else, right? Sometimes he's pretty out of position, but he can catch up because of how athletic he is. But he's super talented. He has all the physical attributes to be really good. He can't dribble the ball. Well, I'm not worried about that, right? Like, I'm not looking at these players and I'm like, okay, who can handle the ball? We don't really need that, right? Like, Dylan Harper is that good. Fox is that good. Wemby is that good with the ball in his hand. Like, we don't actually need... Steph Castle's that good with the ball in hand. Right now, at this point, we're at 14. We're looking at guys who can be role players. I feel like outside of Carter Bryant, I'm just like, okay, who can be the best possible role player? I'm not worried about whether or not you can take the ball down the court, do a hezzy, sham god. You know, I don't care. We need 3-and-D. Yeah, I'm more concerned with you know, role players at this point. I'm not worried about that. I'm not high on Behringer, and I'm not high on Sorber. If you guys can throw out some other name, I mean, we can put them at the very end if you want, but I'm not too high on them. Fleming maybe healthier and younger version of Bassie. I feel like he's a little bit more talented than Asanoa. I'm not super high on him. Liam, what's his name? Liam McNeely? I don't know. Igor Dimon? Is that how you say it? Okay, let me add my last guy, and then I want to put him on there, bro, even though I'm so worried about him. Noah Essing. There we go. All right, so, gosh, how do you say his last name? Yeah, I want to add him. Essenge? Is it Essing? I've heard it said so many different ways. Try to correct me. So with him, this is like by definition a role player, right? But one thing that I really like about him is his defense is ridiculous. Like, he just kind of floats on the court. It's almost like you're playing 2K and you just have it on super high difficulty and you just can't really get past them. They just keep up with you no matter what moves you do. And that's how he is. He just floats on the court, bro. His lateral quickness is kind of ridiculous. Very impressive. He flops a lot and draws fouls. Hey, man. So did Manu. But yeah, as far as upside though, as far as like thinking, oh, can he be a star player? Nothing. He's just a role player. I just love his defense. I'm just a sucker for his defense. I was like, oh my goodness. He's very impressive defensively. He's good in transition as well. As far as how he'll do in a half-court setting, I don't know, but I'm expecting the Spurs to play pretty fast this season. So, Derek Queen is high on my list. I like Derek Queen, basketball IQ-wise, but I just don't know if he'll do so well, man. He's quite slow. I don't know. I mean, I guess you don't have to be the most athletic guy in the world, you know. Yeah, Igor. Yeah, I like him a lot, man. I like him a lot. I'm gonna add him because you guys brought him up. I don't know though, because he has a hard time. It seems like he has a hard time getting past defenders, and we're thinking about players at this point are guys that can just be role players, right? Like, and I don't know if the ball has to be in his hands for him to be the most effective. I don't know, but his passing ability is insane for his size. Very high IQ player, and I always believe in high IQ players, that they'll figure it out. But man, Colin Murray Boyles is quite the player. He's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Add Julian Newman. This is what we can do, okay? Wait, you said Julian Newman? Is there a... Am I tripping? Queen? I'm not a Queen person. That was a joke. Who is... You didn't fall for Julian Newman, right, Clan? I was literally confused. Who's Julian Newman? No one's drafting that scrub. He's trolling. I know, July trolls a lot, but like, who is that? Can someone tell me who that is? That's why I typed it in, because I was like, I didn't hear that name. By the way, a couple of the guys that you guys mentioned, I'm gonna wait. I'll be on like 45 minutes before the draft supposed to start. And we could probably add some more people to the board. But right now, this is how I'm feeling. I don't feel comfortable adding anyone else that I just genuinely didn't want to add to begin with. You know what I mean? How do you not know? There isn't a Julian Newman. What? 4'10" dude that was in high school for 10 years. Supposed to be a... What? You know him, Clan? Now I feel like everyone's trolling me. I don't know who this is. 5'1"? I have no idea who this is. He does YouTube. I don't know. Clan live on a rock? Apparently so, bro. I have no idea who this is. Have you watched a ton of prospects or not yet? Basically the entire first round. Second round I'm gonna spend tomorrow looking more into the second round. I don't know anybody from the second round really. Maybe like a couple. I know what's his name? Chaz, what's his name, guys? In the first round or the second round? Chaz Lanier, I think. Chaz Lanier? Yeah, this guy. I know of this guy. He's an interesting one because I think in high school he was really short, so he had to learn how to be a point guard. Then he had a growth spurt, in which he hit about 6'4", 6'5", his senior year of high school. And yeah, now he's, he can go to the NBA. I think what worries me about him is defense, but he might be one of the best shooters in the draft. You've been getting me with Julian Newman since 2022? Really? Well, I guess you'll be getting me with him for another 3 more years, huh? His sister wanted LaMelo. Are you guys giving me tea right now? No, Lanier is a good defender. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, apparently I don't know much about the second round. But as it stands right now, this is what I'm looking at. These are my guys, all right? Dylan Harper is a gimme. That's easy. Carter Bryant, I think he just has so much talent. If he's landing at 14, like, you don't pass up on him. Maluach, I really like him. And I think that a lot of the great things about him weren't shown because of playing for Duke. No offense to Duke, it's just, the reality of the situation. Reno, I love his basketball IQ, love his defense, everything. Cedric Coward is a little bit of a toss-up because of the injury and because, people say he hasn't really been tested, but I do like the upside there, and I just love his personality, man. Rasheer Fleming, I like him, very athletic, a lot of good tools in his toolbox, I think. Just has to all come together. Noah Essing, I can't say it. He is really good defender. He will be a role player. I don't think that we'll get much more out of that, right? Not like the best ball handler in the world or nothing like that. But hey, add a little bit of defensive depth to your team. And then Dimon is just one where I'm like, I don't know how you're going to do in the NBA. This might be a little bit biased on my part, but I'm a sucker for high IQ players, y'all. I am a sucker for it. You know what? For the heck of it, because I can't say I'm a sucker for high IQ players and not put Queen. I'm going to put Queen all the way at the bottom, all right? We're going to add some more players in here, but he's going at the bottom right now. He'll go at the bottom. I can't. I'm being a hypocrite. The whole family is T? Oh. Okay. Whew. Can Cedric play small forward? We have too many guards. He has a really good frame to him, so. I think he's a small forward. Someone said Coward's a small forward. They keep listing him as shooting guard. I thought he was a small forward. I swear. I thought he was a small forward. RQ, really, bro? Okay, that's how you say it, though? I don't know. All right, that's what I'm rolling with right now. But like I said, we'll add more to it. That was cool. That was fun. Oh, Igor is 6'9" and a shooting guard. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. He's a huge toss-up. I can't really rationalize to you how he would fit on the team, especially if the ball has to be in his hands. All I can tell you is that his IQ is very high and he's a great passer. That's all I can say. I can't actually justify going out of my way to get him, though. Especially if any of these guys are available. But we'll see. We'll see. Sorber. Okay, last thing I'll say about Sorber. Maybe I'll add him. I'll think about it. The only thing that worried me about him is, like, even in his good defensive plays, it always seems like he has a lack of balance, where he's tripping over his own feet going backwards. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. It makes me a little worried. Is that a crazy thing to say? I'll see what chat has to say about that, and then I'll move on. Hunter says Sorber is heavy-footed with a little post moves. Okay. Too slow. Okay. Anything else? What's your top 3 for pick 14? Oh, these would be my top 3 for pick 14. Carter Bryant, Maluach, and Reno. Yeah, I know Reno is like, I don't know where he's projected right now, but those would be my top 3 for 14. Good draft. We got a good draft coming up. All right, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. This is what we're looking at right now. Or actually, if this is getting uploaded on, when am I going to upload this? I don't know when this gets uploaded. But I'm going to see you Wednesday night regardless.